So we've got a new propagator here with two species of chili, one on this side, one on this side. We've had the germination of two seeds, which you can see here. They're currently in a bed of coco coir, which has just been kept moist. This particular propagator is heated. You can see cable coming out the back. So it keeps them within a warm, and the dome keeps them in a warm and humid climate. But we're going to transfer these into a hydroponic system, similar, well, the same system as the cayenne peppers, which also looking nice and strong. So we'll do that now. So I'm now setting up the new hydroponic system to transfer the germinated chili seedlings into. First things first, we're going to have this set up as an automatic pumping system. So water will pump from this reservoir into here through this pipe. So first things first, we need to drill a hole in the top of the reservoir lid. So for this, we're just going to drill through the top of the lid. I don't have a bit that's the same size or diameter as the pipe, so I'm going to use this smaller bit first. Well, I do have a bit, but it's a masonry bit, so I'm going to drill through with this and then just widen it with the masonry bit. The diameter I'm using is the same as the pipe itself because I want the seal, or I want the fit to be quite snug through the top here. So just put the hole in and then widen it a touch with the other bit. And let's see how we go with the fit. Oh, perfect. Tight, but not too tight that it's going to throttle the pipe. Perfect. Right, so as for nutrition, I've filled up this 20-litre container. Usually, if I just show you, on the this system, there's a nutrient port here that you would fill with your own nutrient. And then once the automatic filler has filled this to the top, this will automatically deposit nutrition after the water. However, for this grow, I've decided to use a different nutrition, or a different nutrient, which is, you can see here, BioBiz, which is a biofertilizer. So it's a bioorganic fertilizer, and it's made from plant matter. From sugar beet specifically, it's a very similar consistency to molasses, basically. So it's just made from the sugar beet plant, but it's quite viscous and quite thick, and I don't want to risk it perhaps not being deposited through the automatic nutrient feeder. I don't want to risk it clogging the pipe potentially, whereas I feel a bit more confident diluting it first in this reservoir and then having the thinner solution as one pump into the hydroponic system. So I've measured it out in the syringe. It's around 2 ml per litre of water. So this is 20 litres, but I've gone for slightly less than 40 millilitres. I've gone for around the 30 mark, so I'm just going to put that in now. We'll also need to mix this up before putting the system on, but effectively that will sit in there. I'm also going to add some hydrogen peroxide as well. This is diluted hydrogen peroxide, but this will help oxygenate the water as well as clear out any potential bacteria that I don't want in there. So add just a small amount of that. Again, around 1 ml per litre. Not too much of that one. Alright, let's add the lid. And then we're going to add the feeder pipe, which has a weight on the end, which will help it sink to the bottom. And then I'm going to give this a good shake so that it actually mixes in the nutrition. First, let's move all of these. Yeah, I'm satisfied. That's mixed. Great. So I'm now just going to put on the automatic filling system, and you'll start to see it fill up in a second. I'll speed it up just for the sake of convenience, but you'll see it coming through here, a sort of brown colour, which is because obviously it's been pre-mixed as opposed to coming through as clear water and then adding the nutrition afterwards. What you'll also notice is the pump in the centre there starting to bubble. All that's doing is recirculating the water, creating continuous flow and producing oxygen, basically oxygenating the water, which is essential for the plant's roots and respiration that happens in the roots. Right, so now we're going to transfer the seedlings into some grow plugs, which are these plugs. They're sort of made of organic matter and will absorb water once we put them in the system. So let's just be very careful here not to damage any of the roots. We also want to avoid getting any of this cocoa coir in the system if we can. So there's one. Oops. So you can see there, very tiny seedling. So now I'm going to just transfer that into the plug, making sure the root is going to be quite tricky when it's delicate, almost like threading a needle. Nope, that's not where I want to go. Just widen the opening slightly. There we go. Perfect. Don't know if that actually was caught on camera, but I've got one. That's also going to be housed in one of these, like that. That will sit in the system. Let's just do the other one. Oh, we've got a third choice and a fourth. So we've got some backups, which is good. Again, just pop that in there ever so gently. Great, happy with that. And again. So we can now pop this here. I'm going to go one here as well. Perfect. I'll cover these extra holes to avoid the growth of algae in the tank. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully I answered some of your questions, and I'd like to take some time to just say, if you're interested in learning about hydroponics, perhaps you want to start a business and make some money with hydroponics, join us over on School. There'll be a link on screen now. It's a great place to learn everything you ever wanted to about hydroponics with like-minded people, professionals, beginners, everything you ever need. So I'll see you there.